Hi everyone, it's Lisa from A Simple Season. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. I took a run up to Costco this week to fill in some gaps in my pantry of some Mediterranean type items that I've been using and enjoying. So I'm just replenishing that stock and I'll show you what I got from there. And also I'm going to show you a wartime era soup that's been in my mom's family for generations. And I'm going to show you how that's made. So thanks so much for joining in and let's get started. So here's my Mediterranean Costco haul and I'll show you what I picked up this week. The first thing I got was this 4-bean salad and I love this a lot because this is such a great option for just a quick lunch. You just put it together in like a little plastic container and a good bread, and that's awesome for lunch. And then I also got a couple of these bottles of artichoke hearts, and these I love put in a salad or just plain. They are so delicious. And the third thing is I got this fresh mozzarella cheese. If you've never had fresh mozzarella cheese, let me tell you, you are missing out on something. And this is wonderful in lasagna or manicotti or anything, any type of baked pasta. But the other thing you can do with it is it sort of comes in this little round sort of shape. Is you can slice it up into slices, and then you can use this for salad with tomatoes and basil, and it is absolutely wonderful. Nothing like the conventional mozzarella that you normally find in the store. I also got a bag of these Smyrna figs, and these are imported from Turkey. So the quality on these is quite nice, and these are fabulous on a charcuterie board with cheese or even just eaten on their own. They're absolutely wonderful. And then also I got a jar of these pickled beets, and I love pickled beets. I know there's kind of maybe like a polarizing sort of flavor, but I absolutely love them. And then I also got 2 jars of the antipasto from Costco. This stuff is very reasonably priced for antipasto, and you can use this for so many things. You can mix a little bit into hummus, like if you take a tablespoon or 2 and mix it in when you make your hummus, it's absolutely fabulous. Or you can just have it on its own with crackers. Absolutely a wonderful thing to have in your pantry. And then I also picked up a couple of different types of olives. I got some Kalamata olives, and then I got some garlic stuffed olives, and both of these are from Greece. The ones with the garlic, you don't really taste the garlic so much. It just gives it a really nice texture to the olive. And they look so pretty with the garlic put in the middle like that. So I like these a lot. The other thing I got here was this vegetable medley, and this is imported from Italy. Again, I can just put this in a salad. I can make up some rice and put in a few spoonfuls of that, mix it in with the rice, and it is absolutely delicious. You can make a great rice salad with that. And here I got some egg nest pasta from Malizana. Egg nest pasta is so delicious. It's got a really nice texture and flavor. Now this item is not the best for long-term storage. You can go about a year past the date with this and it'll be just fine. But because it has the egg in it, you don't want to be using this for long-term storage. You want to be using your regular dry pasta for longer storage in your pantry. I also purchased a few bottles of capers, and capers are something we use quite frequently at our house, especially if we have any kind of a fish dish, we'll sprinkle it with capers, or if I make a pasta puttanesca, which is basically a tomato sauce for pasta with the addition of olives and a tablespoon or so of capers. It just gives a really interesting flavor to the pasta, and it's just kind of something unusual and delicious as well. This next item isn't a Mediterranean item per se, but it's just something unusual that you can put on top of a salad or with chicken, and it's a deep roasted sesame dressing and marinade. So you can put this with a number of different items and it just gives it a different flavor, and if you like the taste of sesame, you will love this. And this is the great thing about Costco, is that they do bring in more unusual items like this to make your meals more interesting. And the last thing I got was a box of 8 cans of chickpeas. Normally I buy the dried chickpeas, but sometimes I do like to have a dozen or so cans on hand just in case I don't have time to soak them and do them up ahead of time. So I did pick up 1 package of these just to have. Now we are going to use these to make that wartime era soup that I was telling you about. So we'll get started with that. Now, one thing to note is that in those days, my mom said they didn't actually have access to canned chickpeas. They just used the dried chickpeas, soaked them overnight, and then boiled them until they were soft. And if you want to make this a really budget-friendly dish, that is the way to do it. Buy the dried beans and cook them up yourself. But today we are going to use the canned beans just because it's a little bit more convenient for me, but otherwise I would use the dried beans as well. So let's get started with the recipe. So for my Italian wartime chickpea soup, I have a can of chickpeas, a few cloves of garlic chopped up, 1 carrot chopped up, half an onion, 1 stalk of celery, and a can of diced tomatoes. So I've made my veggie stock and strained it into a bowl, and now I'm just going to heat up a few tablespoons of olive oil. So I've got a few tablespoons of olive oil heating up here, and I'm going to add in some onions, and I'm just going to cook them for about 5 minutes until they're soft, and then add in all of the other ingredients. And I've drained and rinsed the chickpeas, and we're going to put those in now. So I've added in my veggie stock, and now we're going to let it simmer for about a half an hour, 40 minutes or so. And if you don't have veggie stock, that's okay. You can use water even, or chicken stock, whatever you have available, and it'll be just fine. And this is how our delicious soup turned out. It is such a wonderful, nourishing meal, so warm and comforting. And if you can top this soup with either some Grana Padano cheese or a little bit of Parmesan, it will be absolutely extraordinary. This dish is even more delicious if you make it ahead of time and store it in the fridge overnight. It just allows all of those flavors to marry and get acquainted with each other, and it just turns into this beautiful, hearty, flavorful soup. So hopefully you'll give this a try. Stay well, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next one.